Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's WTG
How's it
here.
going, everybody? Welcome.
Yeah, I think we just cut each other off there for a minute.
Yeah, we did. Ooh, go ahead, Will. You start us.
Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's WTG here, aka the FS Encyclopedia. How is everyone doing today? And I'm here joined with the one and only BDD.
Heyo, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Daddy Dave, and as you all can see, we're in the new home. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day, because I know I am. How you doing today there, Will T?
Ugh, I've had better days.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, that's no bueno.
No, I mean, you already know why. But
Oh, yeah.
nothing but computer problems.
The gremlins, man. Or you know what it is? I know what it is. It's Klaus. It's Klaus.
I know it.
Let's see. Jonah with the technically the stream snipe, even though I was the first to comment, says well, I said it's been a while, but I'm back, baby. And oh yeah, I am back. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. You can see it's still kind of a mess here in the background in my office, and I do apologize. It's going to be a little bit echoey for a little bit until I'm able to actually set up the sound dampening. I do plan on doing that, but for right now, we're just going to have to live with the echo. It's all I can do right now.
Right.
But we got Jonah, like I said, with the stream snipe, says he beat me. Oh no. And Mark, hey, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far, Mark. See, and I am all caught up with my side.
All right. Alrighty. Man, it feels weird skipping over a weekend. Now we're here.
Oh man, you know what? It has been such a hectic couple of weeks over on this end, and I'm just glad to be here. I'm glad to be just kind of able to start taking a breath and kind of letting things kind of wind down and, you know, kind of go from there. So I'm happy about it. I am legit happy.
Yo, it literally has been a week since we haven't done this, and yeah, I forgot to unmute you on my end for my stream. Welcome Sunday, guys.
Oh, what are you doing to me?
I don't know, man. My brain's going all over the place.
You know what? Worse things have happened. You know what it is? It's that Will T is depriving you all from my sultry voice.
Actually, I'm gonna tell you what though, it has actually been a very, very rough time over here because Bree and I both don't have our cars right now. So, because
What happened to your cars?
well, mine's in the mechanics still because they don't know what's wrong with it. And
Uh-oh.
it's
That's
been
no bueno.
it's been sitting there for like 2 weeks now. And then hers is getting worked on by
Holy
by a
smokes.
friend. So there's that. And also just a lot of stuff going on my end over here too. Just me. But I'm not
Well,
good.
I tell you what, let us have us a really good night tonight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Also, real quickly too, just let everyone know, I am 12 away from hitting that 50 mark on Twitch. So
Nice.
So as soon as I hit that 50 mark on Twitch, I will definitely be. I will at that point be affiliated with Twitch. Yes. So there's that at least starting out.
Booyah.
Slowly getting there for YouTube, but oh, real quick before we start this, BDD and I have a little announcement.
Yeah, we do. We got a little bit of a teaser, little bit of something going on in the background for you all.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about Will, but I'm pretty excited about it.
If my wife was over here, I would tell her right now. She's sleeping right now, but she would probably acknowledge that I'm super excited about it. I think super overexcited is a little bit of a not the word I would use. So,
Yeah, no, it's one of those where the it all just kind of fell into place, and it's going to be such a cool addition to the show here on Sundays that I think everybody here is going to get a really big kick out of it. And ah, I don't want to say too much. I don't want to say too
right.
much. I just think that everybody out there is going to enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Now, real quick before we start on the mods, there is one thing that I want to state. Now, yes, we didn't get that much news compared to other times. And we got a lot of news from Celebuki and stuff like that. But there's one big one I want to go over real quick. Real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, Plains and Prairies have been announced.
Yeah, it has.
So, if everyone was wondering now, I mean, you can pre-order if you're on PC and Mac, so you get 10% off of it right now. But it's going to be $10 if you don't. It is part of the year one season pass. Um, so we're just going to go over this real quick because I know this is something big. Usually when a DLC drops or something, I know that's something big. But we're getting 2 versatile tractors, which I know a lot of people were really hoping would be in the game at this point. So I know that we had
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
the versatile Nemesis and the versatile MFWD.
I'm just trying to bring it up on my end. There we go.
Yeah, yeah. If you go under like the DLCs tab, then you click on it, you can see all the vehicles.
Yep, 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 yep.
Yeah, which the first one, the Nemesis, is not bad. It's 195 to 272 horsepower. That's not bad.
No, not at all. So you see, I've got the full. Whoa, what just happened?
Something.
Uh-oh. No, something did just happen on my end. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers experience buffering. Really?
Uh-oh.
Well, that's interesting. Huh. Oh, yeah, I wonder if I've got my settings up too high for the new internet. Ooh.
I mean, it's definitely something you're probably gonna have to tamper around with.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing now that I'm in a new place and all that stuff. Things are gonna be, kind of hit and miss. Let's see. You go ahead and carry us for a second there, Will. I'm gonna see if I can kind of fix this on the fly.
All right. And of course, we also have the versatile MFWD, which is going to be 300 to 400 horsepower. That was the one that everyone was most excited for. Was the first was for that specific one. Now, also another big thing is Ford. Now, I hate to say this, but we're not getting Ford trucks because Ford tractors are completely different. Yes, it is Ford and Ford, but Ford tractors, Ford equipment, where it was actually bought out by CNH, which is owned by New Holland.
Yes.
So now, does this mean that it could open the door eventually to Ford being in the game, like as like GM? Yes, it could potentially, but I would not expect anything to come out as Ford except for Ford tractors.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. One of those where, I honestly we ought to be just happy with what we have at the moment, and if this opens some doors later on down the line, then absolutely fantastic. But I think we should be, pretty all right and set with just getting the actual brand of Ford. I think that's pretty sweet.
Jonah says, hello, friend. Hello, good sir.
Jonah!
And then, as you can tell, though, the Versatile is literally the exact same number. Just one's labeled as Ford and one's a Versatile. And then we got the 1080, which is the Big Roy, which I know,
Big Roy.
which has a whopping 600 horsepower. I mean, me personally,
Hey,
I'm not gonna use that. Somebody might though.
never look a horsepower in the mouth.
Now the wow, now that Versatile Delta Track is pretty good though. That is up to 580, 583 to 665. That's basically the quad track and the 9RX button, but as a Versatile. Now, I definitely want to say, probably out of all the tractors we're getting, my personal one I'm excited for is the MFWD. I'm not gonna lie. That's what I'm most.
MFWD? Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. That's gonna be a good one.
And then we are getting a truck, the International LT Series.
Nice, nice.
It's awesome we're getting that. And then we also got the Versatile V7, which is the front loader, which is gonna go with the Nemesis. So if you like using a front loader, there you go. We also are getting Brant, that's coming back, the 2500 DXT, which requires 500 horsepower, but it holds 88,000 liters.
Wow. Oh, that's a good amount.
Oh yeah. And then a new brand, Trout River. We got the live bottom rear lift. I'm actually very excited for this one. Holds 36,400 liters.
Nice.
So basically, the back end of it actually lifts upwards. It's kind of like an auger wagon almost. Trout River, I looked it up. Trout River is actually based out of Canada. So
Yeah, nice big semi. Uh,
holler.
I'm trying to think. Basically, like an auger stand-in.
like take the base game semi auger that we have. Why is the brand not coming to me? It'll come back to me eventually. But it's the base game auger that we have. That's a semi trailer. This is basically that, but it lifts up and tips out the back, which is kind of neat. The one that I'm super stoked for is the Salford Independent Series 1260. It's a disc harrow. Requires 600 horsepower, 18 meters. I'm excited.
Okay.
I'm excited for that. And then we got the Vaderstead Seedhawk 84. So it's going to require 550 horsepower and has a 25.6 meter working width. So it's basically a air seeder, big old air seeder. It's kind of like the Borgolt that we have. So
Yep.
and then it's gonna be paired up.
It's definitely a very diverse pack that we're getting.
Yeah, but and then you also got the PD 1000, which is the seed tank that pairs with it, which is gonna hold 35,315 liters of seed and fertilizer. Oh.
Okay.
Then we're also getting a Vaderstead Tempo K24 planter, 365 horsepower, 18 meter working width. It holds 11,000 liters. That's seed and fertilizer, I believe. So the weird thing is, it's the base configuration is tracks instead of wheels.
Really?
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, for the South Ford, I'm excited for that. The Vaderstead air seeder in the wagon, I'm not that excited for. I don't really use those very often.
Yeah.
The Vaderstead Tempo, I'm kind of intrigued by that. Now this one I'll probably use. I'm not a big Fendt person, but the Fendt Rogator 900 between 315 365 horsepower. You got 27 to 40 meter working with. Capacity range between 4,164 and 4,921 liters. So this is going to have a sprayer option and a dry box option. I'm kind of intrigued for that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, for sure.
Then another one I'm super stoked for is the Salford 9620 Air Boom applicator. Requires 360 horsepower, has a working width of 22 meters, and the capacity of 18,700 liters.
Nice.
Now, there was a fact sheet that came out Friday for this. No, it does not spread lime. It's just solid fertilizer.
Ah,
So,
boo.
now, the one, and I called this. I told you about this the second that I found out about this. I called it. That GEA was going to be coming with the Plains and Prairies. Because what did I tell you before about GEA?
Oh, remind me, because I'm drawing a huge blank at the moment.
GEA is the world pronounced slurry haulers that are meant for big open areas.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we got the GEA EL 4860 4800. It's a triple axle, requires 220 horsepower, 16 meter working width, holds 21,800 liters. We're just slurring and digesting, and then we got the big boy, the quad axle. So that's going to be the GEA EL 48 8D 7900. That's going to require 350 horsepower, 16 meter working with it, 35,900 liters. So basically, take like the Velmetal pack that we got and put it base game, but with GEA. And then the big bad boy of them all, the GEA STR 447. It's going to hold 39,800 liters. It's a
Wow.
It's a hauler. So you can haul. So instead of having to haul back and forth to the farm, you can just use that and haul it to the field. So I don't know about you, but I'm very excited for this pack, and it comes out. It comes out June 3rd.
Yeah, not too much longer, a couple weeks.
Yeah. Are you excited for it?
I am. I am. Getting Ford in there, like I said, is going to be a nice little change of pace. Seeing that represented, getting the GEA and Trout River, I think that'll be really nice to see those as well. And it also opens the doors to seeing other items from those manufacturers. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see it.
Oh, that one mod that came out from Holfats S, I believe it was Holtz FS. It came out in 22, and I know he's bringing it to 25. It came as a Lizard brand, but it was based off of a Ford tractor. I know. That's probably gonna be Lizard. That's gonna be labeled as Ford now.
Yep.
Also, Giant Software messed up.
Uh-oh.
No, because they made a post and then they end up retracting the post and fixing it and putting it out because they said prepare for the new Plains and Prairie DLC. It just got announced. Get ready to have some awesome U.S. style equipment and buildings. But there was no buildings in the pack, which they end up taking that off.
Yeah.
And I already know why.
Uh-oh.
Because instead of
You able to share, or?
Because instead of including it in the pack, it's going to come with the update. Because we're supposed to get another patch. So,
Okay. Okay.
which a little birdie told me, which I don't know if it's true or not. So just take this with a grain of salt. But we're supposed to get some American style cow barns.
Okay. Okay.
I'm very happy about that. Very happy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All
That'd be
right.
real nice.
Do you have to catch up with your chat at all?
I do. So we got Mega Farmer. How's it going, Mega Farmer? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says hello, buddy. You moved now? I am. I am in the new location. That's why it sounds a little bit echoey at the moment. So gonna have to deal with that for just a little while longer. Jody, how's it going, Jody? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Says hi. Jonas says, "Hey, that's the new house. That is the new house. That is it is." We got Jody saying, "How you doing today? Doing fantastic, bud. How you doing?" And also says, "I think I'm going to pass on the DLC." Oh, that's all right. If that's what you want to do, then that's up to you. And then that is it. Oh, and Jody says, "Good, awesome, awesome. Now that's it."
All right. Now we're start with the mods. Um, now we're start with Fridays because this is past Friday. So we got the Sopima uh, Crosskilite. Is that how you pronounce it?
Cross delete, cross delete.
I don't even know.
Maybe I don't know.
This is by Nico Pixes. This can be 12.59 megabytes to download. You do have working with 6.4 meters. A power, you'd have a horsepower required of 120, and the price range is between 12,950 and 14,250. And that's because you got a 3-point and a trailed version. These are rollers.
So checking this out, we're using the working with a 6.4 meters. That's going to be quite a bit smaller, about half the size of the Vaderstat Rexus 1230. So that's going to be our closest comparable. Taking a look at that, the Vaderstat is 46,500. This one here is 12,950 to start. So right there, you can tell that that's actually quite a bit cheaper. So it's more than half the price for not even half the size. So that's a big plus. 13 megabytes to install, not too bad. And then 120 horsepower to lug this thing around. It's about the same as the Vaderstat there. So that's kind of on par. So that's kind of a disappointment to see. But all in all, I think that's a pretty good mod. It's not too intrusive on the download, not too intrusive on the price. Certainly not too intrusive on the price, considering that it's 13 grand compared to the 46,000 to
Right.
start. Yeah. So yeah, I like it. It's a good mod.
Let's see your next one is gonna be this Sopima Pause Avant. This is also by Nico Pixels. It's gonna be 8.56 megabytes to download. You do have working with that's supposed to be 3.6 meters, not 36 meters. You have a horsepower.
Mm. Or
Yeah,
maybe it is 36 meters and they're just wanting to fool you.
maybe. Yeah, you do have a horsepower required of 150, and now we have a price tag of $32,250. And this is a front
So,
cultivator.
so again, taking a look at our, let's see, our cultivators. There they are. Probably closest comparable at if we determined 3.6 meters. That's going to put us steadily between the Eco Cultivator, the Notch Nooch Nooch not, and the John Deere 980. And let's see, that means that for $32,250, wow, that does not seem right. None of this seems right there, Will. 36 meters, $32,250. I mean, you can get the 3 meter Eco Cultivator for 16 grand or the 4 meter John Deere 980 for 9,500. So none of that adds up. Then
Yeah.
you got the Amazon Senio 4000, which is also 4 meters at 24,500. So this is like accurate, that just seems really, really off to me.
Oh yeah, more than likely we'll probably get an update to fix all that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. That just seems really, really off.
Let's see your next one then is going to be the Lizard LT pack. This is by John GM. It's going to be 3.29 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $7,500. You have a horsepower required of 60. That is okay. Yeah, so that's for the leveler, and then you got the grader basically, which you can plow with. That's the exact same price and exact same horsepower. So
So this one here is listed under plows. So kind of taking a look at this one, it doesn't give us any like working widths or anything like that, but it kind of looks like, best eyeball, maybe about 3 meters is, basically what I'm looking like here. So, taking a look at this, our closest comparable would probably be the Agribussness POV5XL. The starting price on this is 7,500. The Agribussness is 16,000. So you're getting a 2.5 meter working width in the Agribussness. Again, guessing this is in the 3 meter territory without actually having it downloaded on my machine to confirm. So that's pretty decent saving. That's about half the cost, and you're getting either the same or maybe a little bit wider. Then you take a look at the horsepower requirements. The Agromass is 160 horsepower. This one only requires 60 horsepower. So all in all, this is actually pretty decent. If you're looking for something small for your small farms, then here you go. 4 megabytes to install is not that intrusive. So I think that this is going to be a solid one.
your next one is going to be the Lizard 880. This is by Hoopal FS. This can be 4.74 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $5,000, and they have a capacity of 880 liters. It is an additional tank for your fertilizer and herbicide. This is the most weirdest mod ever because you literally have to drive almost completely over top of it to have it attached underneath your vehicle. And then you can adjust it wherever you want it.
Huh. Well, I mean, that certainly sounds interesting. 5 megabytes to install, so not that intrusive on size. 880 liters. It's not that big, but for an additional, tank, it's not that terrible. Especially when you compare it to the Hardy Mega 12,000, 1200L. I mean, you're talking an extra 1200 liters for that Hardy. This is 880. So you're talking just shy of 400 liters off of each other. But what you're not talking is price. The mod here is $5,000 compared to the Hardy Mega at 30,500. So that less than 400 meters or liters that you're, not getting, well, you're not paying the 30,000, for that extra 400 liters. It's a big, big savings.
Right.
So yeah, all in all, price per liter, this is going to be a good one. I say install this one all day, all night.
Now, like I said, we don't typically usually go over updates, but there were some couple map updates that came out on Friday. So the first one is Riverview. It's from Calvary Roy and Monkey Show Modding. There's gonna be a 500.41 megabytes to download. Um, it's gonna be a changelog 1.2.0.0, and please note save game is compatible. Precision farming ready with custom soil map.
Love it. Love
Which
it. I mean, this is already a great map, and now that the precision farming is now a thing again here on FS25, we have map makers who kind of went out in a frenzy to update their maps to include their own version of their soil maps. So this is a welcome addition.
the next one we had was North Frasian 25. This is by Serjoki 80 and Yogi. 314.20 megabytes to download. And it is going to be changed to like 1.0.1.1. Precision farming soil map installed. A new save game is not necessarily required. However, a new save game is required to use all new features. This is the map with 1 billion required mods.
It's a lovely map. I will say it's a very lovely map. I really love Yogi's maps, but I will say that yeah, this is very mod heavy, mod required heavy. But again, copy and paste what I said previously about Riverview with this one in regards to the precision farming because hey, having a new soil map for those who like precision farming, here we go.
So now, typically, there's only 4 new mods that got released for all platforms. For Friday, which one was your favorite?
So out of the four, I would probably have to go with the Lizard 880 just simply because of how much of a big cost savings it has compared to the Hardy Mega. The Hardy Mega, I mean, if you're looking to do your liquids, your herbicides or your liquid fertilizer, then it's expensive. I mean, for 1,200 extra liters, you're spending $30,500. Now you get 880 liters for less than about 5,000. So you're saving right up front almost $25,000. Just boom, right there. And you're only losing 400 liters. Boo hoo.
For mine, I would definitely have to say it would be the Supima roller.
Gotcha, gotcha.
See here. All right, and then as for Thursday, so we're gonna start out with this. We have the Velmetal Max Track Duratech. This is by Custom Modding. It's gonna be 105.07 megabytes to download. Now you do have a base price of $74,900. You do have a horsepower range between 150 and 450. You do have capacities starting at 17,034 liters up to 38,611 liters, or range between 4,500 liters and 10,200 liters. Well, gallons. Sorry. Yeah, so range between 17,000 to 38,000 liters, or those are gallons. This comes with a lot. I am very happy this is back. And I can tell you right now, when that new DLC comes out, Elma, Missouri is going to have this and the GEA on it.
So this is a great pack. This basically came out as separate mods, but it's all part of the Velvetal pack for custom modding. And custom modding is a fantastic mod maker. I mean, these things are highly detailed. They are just incredible to look at. I mean, you can see just where all the work went into it. But the megabytes is 1.3. I'm sorry. I'm going to come out and say it. The size of these files for these specific mods are huge. 100 megabytes, 105 megs to install this. That's huge. That's huge. That's bigger than some maps. So, unfortunately, that is a part of the problem. But all in all, you can tell where that megabytes coming in from. You can see what it's being used for. So I like the mod. I would love to install it. I'm not going to simply because of the size. It's too much for me.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Velmetal Max 10 Lagoon Pump. This is also by Custom Modding. This can be 80.15 megabytes to download. So you do have a price tag of $68,900. You do have a horsepower requirement of 225. I love this.
Again, copy and paste everything I just said, and it looks amazing. The lagoon pump, the trailer looks amazing. It just brings in a whole new kind of dynamic into the into the game itself. But again, 80 megabytes, 80 megabytes for, I mean, what's essentially an auger pump. I mean, that's essentially all it is for your slurry. So again, unfortunately, I love it. I think it looks fantastic. It's not going to get a download from me because of just how ridiculously large.
So your next one is going to be the Lizard 7700 tanker. It's also by custom modding. It's going to be 38.47 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of uh, 99 $99,900. And you do have a capacity of 7,700 liters.
Copy and paste. Pretty much everything that you're going to hear me say about this whole pack from custom modding looks amazing, looks fantastic. Don't let me take anything away from how gorgeous these mods look. But again, almost 40 megabytes for a manure trailer. I'm sorry, it's just I can't. I just can't.
And let me guess, well, you'd probably use the GEA ones that come in the pack, the DLC.
Probably, probably, because that's at least on my actual hard drive, not on my uh,
Right.
and not on my actual mod space.
Let's hear. And the last new one from Thursday is going to be the Manure Lagoon. This is also by Custom Modding. It's going to be 48.57 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $65,000 and a capacity of 5 million liters. Love it.
Copy and paste. Copy and paste everything I've said. It's fantastic. It looks good. But at the end of the day, it's a slurry tank. It's a slurry tank. And you've got 50 megabytes nearly. 50 megabytes for just something that is meant for holding holding manure. I mean, it's just at the end of the day, it's just wow. I just can't. I just absolutely can't. And you figure you go all in on this. Let's just say you go all in. 50 megabytes for the Lagoon. You've got an extra, let's see, 40 megabytes for the tankers. So you're talking that's what, 90 megabytes just right up front. Again, that's a small map right there just by that itself. Then another 80, so you're talking another 170 megabytes. Again, you're getting into a bigger, bigger but small map, and then the Valmetal Max Track at 100. So you're talking almost 300 megabytes for 4 mods. You're talking a good sized, detailed map at that point for 4 mods, all of it having to do with slurry. I'm sorry, I can't. I just can't. But they're fantastic looking. They're fantastic. It's just not something that I, as a console player, can get behind in downloading.
Now, I do want to say something, though, that a lot of people are not liking these right now. Or some people, I should say, because they're like, "Oh, this thing's not working and it's not loading, and how come I can't unfill the the tanker into the slurry spreaders?" Because so for the Valmetal Max 10 Lagoon pump, you literally have to be directly perfect. Like it literally has to be right over top the opening for the slurry to go in. And then for the tanker, you actually have to boom the arm out and have it directly over top the hole. So, I mean, I love it because it's more realistic. Let me guess, you didn't.
Oh, for sure. What's that?
And let me guess, you didn't have a favorite one from Thursday.
Oh no. I mean, the whole pack is my favorite. If megabytes was not an issue, I would download the whole thing right now. It's that good.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but for a console player to justify almost 300 megabytes on 4 mods and they're all having to do a slurry, I just can't. I literally just can't do that. Again, that's a map. That is a decent sized, detailed map.
All right. Well, since we both agree,
But I mean, going for to pick a favorite, I'm gonna pick the Velmetal Max Track because again, a four axle slurry tanker is awesome, and I just love the ability of, you know, it being that kind of like you said, that more realistic kind of use.
For me, I'm gonna say the whole thing, all four of them. I can't pick a favorite.
Now, before we move on, I'm gonna catch up with the chat just real quick.
Good.
Let's see. Jonah says, updated my YouTube profile picture. Very nice. Jonah also says, 1, 2, 3. Jonah, what are you doing to me, Jonah? Jody says, I just don't think there's nothing the DLC that is worth paying money for. I hope they come out with better DLCs. I mean, it's one of those where, I mean, me personally, I went ahead and bought the season pass, so it's just going to come as it comes kind of thing. But yeah, if you're buying these like as individual packs, then sure. I mean, it's going to be to each their own kind of thing, and I can get that. Taco de Groot. Taco, how you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says good evening, folks. And he also says, I rather sell manure or slurry and use the spreader with either a solid or liquid fertilizer. Yes, yep, I agree. Let's see. Now, I will say that my tactics have now changed now that precision farming's out. Because we had the base game and didn't have to worry about precision farming and all that stuff, I would just use solid fertilizer and wouldn't care. Wouldn't care about, all the extra bits. It really didn't matter. But now that we finally got the precision farming, it makes the manure spreaders and slurry spreaders actually viable. And not only that, but it also makes the cover crops actually viable as well. So I'm really happy about that. Let's see. Jody says, I think Giant Software needs to get these megabytes down a little bit. Yeah, yeah. The Valmetal stuff is insanely high. But I mean, again, you can see it in the details. That's why I'm so gutted. I'm so disappointed that I can't, bring myself to download these. But I can download a map for this. So that's where I'm gonna put my effort into. Taco says there are maps that need less megabytes to download. 100%? 100%? Jody says Ivory Maps needs to lower their. I think that's Ivory Maps. I think it's supposed to be custom modding. I think he just did a typo.
Oh,
River Planix. I agree for console. It's too much. Yep, 100%. Right there with you there, bud. And how are you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. And yeah, I'm all caught up.
now getting on for Wednesday because we got a whole bunch of updates on Wednesday. Now the only
Yeah, we did.
No, the reason I'm going to go through these real quick is because these are maps. So the first one is going to be, was it Rootmer Island? By by Marnuex mapping. It's going to be 168.03 megabytes to download. It's going to be version 1.2. Update 1.2.00. Adjusted the feed for the cows so you can use grass for zero grazing and still get 100% efficiency. Added soil map for precision farming. Removed sheep from pastures to prevent wool from spawning. Changed some road textures. Changed diesel tank at the arable farm so you can refuel it. And minor changes to decoration.
So for this one here, for anybody who follows my content on my channel knows that I do map updates and I go in depth on these. And I'm not going to go as in depth here on Agribusiness, but I'll go ahead and kind of touch some highlights on this. So the first one absolutely perplexes me. The adjusted the feed for cows so that you can use grass for zero grazing and still get 100% efficiency. It makes sense in theory. What they were doing, or at least what they were attempting to do, is to bypass the quote unquote issues with the whole grazing system that is prevalent in cow pastures, sheep pastures, things like that. I get that. The problem I have with it though is that 100% efficiency for just grass. it doesn't make sense to me. It it by doing that, it makes the whole production of TMR absolutely pointless.
Right.
So that part of it, I I think that if they adjusted it to maybe 60% or something like that, to where at least got you started, I think that'd be fine. But the fact that they adjusted it to 100% just really kind of baffles me. The soil map, again, copy and paste what I was saying about Riverview, and the other map that we mentioned earlier. Absolutely love that they're bringing their own custom, soil maps to precision farming. Love that. The sheep removal, again, I get that because what's happening is that if there is a pasture or barn that's set up in place on a map, it will make it to where the uh, sheep will actually spawn products because they exist and they are actually still able to produce their product. So I know Omatana had to remove hers from 4 fields, and I know that this one here also had to remove their sheep. And then yeah, the road textures, the diesel tank, they ended up changing that to where it's they got the wrench so you can click into it and all that. So yeah, it's a solid update with the exception of the 100% efficiency. I'm not certain about all that, but that's about it.
Next one is to be La Pinky. This is by Greenick and Favory. And then also Steroids from Greenick and Favory. These are basically the exact same update, I believe. So for La Pinky, it's going to be 350.08 megabytes to download. It's going to be changed out 1.3.0.1. So if we go down the bottom here, yeah, it changes out 1.3.0.1. Added precision farming DLC capability or compatibility. I can't talk today. The ability to mow buckwheat with a windrower has been removed. If you are already using version 1.3.0.0, you do not need to start a new save. So that's for the pinky.
So again, copy and paste what I said about precision farming. Love that. The ability to mow buckwheat with a windrower, that one I'm not 100% certain about because it just seemed kind of odd to be able to do that. Like, I don't know if that was like an error kind of thing and they're just correcting the error. But again, just I don't even know how somebody even discovers that, Like you're going to a fresh field that's ready to harvest and then you mow it with a windrower? Like, am I misunderstanding something with that update or
Sounds like it.
you know what I mean?
And then,
Like how does somebody stumble across that? Like
right,
seriously.
right. And then for stories, which is going to be 365.14 megabytes to download, be version 1.1, 1.1.0.1. Yeah, version 1.1.0.1. Fixed the invisible light switch on in the silo building. Added the ability to produce manure in the pigsty. Removed one tree near field 19. Removed the ability to mow buckwheat with a windrower, and
What'd
added
you call me?
and added com- comability comp- added precision farming DLC. Is how you do it. If you are already using version 1.1.0.0, you do not need to start a new save.
So just a little, offshoot gripe, just really quick. I wish that there wouldn't be this kind of wording, this verbiage right here, because it says if you're already using this, then you do not need a new save game, kind of thing. It's just say you need a new save. It's like a roundabout way of saying you need a new save, only if you don't meet these parameters. Does that make sense? Like I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Anyways, yeah. Again, invisible light switch. I confirmed that is working. That looks great. Ability to produce manure in a pigsty. I also confirmed that one. That was working just fine. The tree, not sure which tree was removed because, kind of a nondescript description. The ability to mow the butt week. Again, who found that out? I'm dying to figure out the person who's like, you know what? I'm gonna try X, and then all of a sudden, whoop, it does something like that. I don't get it. Don't get it. And precision farming, two thumbs up.
Now, typically, I don't usually go over placeables, but I want to go over this one briefly. So this is going to be the multi-dairy production by Biggins. This is 7.8.
You just like that name.
It kind of reminds me of Frodo Baggins.
Yep. Yep.
It's going to be 7.88 megabytes to download. It's be version 1.0.0.2. So yeah, change 1.0.0.2. Increase recipe speed. Increase storage capacity. Added double stack pallet spawning. Updated new item images. Changed chimney smoke to only be visible while the production is active. Slightly increased pallet and unloading trigger size. Removed warning stripes for unloading triggers, still unload in front. And adjusted pallet blocking system. I thought that was a really good update to that. So
That is a good one. Yeah, I agree.
now to carry on, we have Frankenmuth farming map from Taylor Farms. This is going to be 366.88 megabytes to download. It's going to be version 1.3.0.0. Let's see here. Oh. So we got version 1.3.0.0. New save not required. So we have corn harvest texture and yield increase.
Hey, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with just straightforward, no new save required?
New save not required.
Yeah. What's wrong with that? Taylor Farms, good on you.
Yeah, exactly. So you got a corn harvest texture and yield increase. Soybean harvest texture, row spacing, and yield increased. Sugar beet row spacing to match amenity, equipment, and yield increased. More paintable ground textures. Sheds have gutter and downspouts with water effect while raining. Flat rolling textures. After collecting 10 collectibles, the rest will show up in the mini-map. Chopped alfalfa and alfalfa haylage fill types added for full alfalfa integration. I absolutely love that. Have 4 base game modded bunker styles added to the map for making alfalfa haylage. You must use these bunkers. You cannot use any other modded ones or the base game bunkers to make alfalfa haylage. Alfalfa haylage bales can be made by wrapping wet alfalfa bales. You have a custom soil map for precision farming mod. Modded cow barn with robot feeder added to the map to work with the alfalfa implementation.
So essentially what this update was is the same update that Prairie Farms and Michigan Map got, plus custom soil map.
It's a great update, though.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I was saying the same exact thing when it came to the updates for Prairie Farms and Michigan Map when they happened. This one kind of lagged behind, and it also has the addition of the custom soil map. So, it's good on top of good on top of good.
Next one is going to be Prairie Farm Michigan, also by Taylor Farms. This is 244.08 megabytes to download. It did be changed out 1.2. Yeah, which is literally the exact same update for that. That includes the precision farming, and then you have Michigan Map by Taylor Farms and Salty Shorty. This is going to be 482.75 megabytes to download. This is going to be version 1.1.1.0. Yeah, new save not required. You got fixed iron ore and metal pellets issues. An issue that 1.1.0.0 broke. Custom soil map for precision farming mod. And then added the modded cow barn with the robot feeder for the alfalfa.
Yep. So in my update video, I went ahead and double checked the iron ore and the metal pallets to make sure they were working. Both were working spectacularly. Again, precision farming, 2 thumbs up. And the modded cow barn to fix the robot feeder. Guess there was a big issue with these maps that are implementing the alfalfa, haylage systems into them, and it not working in the automatic robot feeder. Well, here we go. This is their solution: is adding a separate you know mod specific to that map to make it work. So awesome.
Now, of course, on Wednesday there were no new mods, so they were just updates. So I think that went through pretty quick. Now, as for Tuesday, we had a new map, New American, by Samuel Bista Modding, or Batista Modding. It's 108.17 megabytes to download.
Now, before we move on, I just want to point this out: 108.17 megabytes to download. This is almost smaller than the Valmetal trailer that we were talking about earlier,
Yeah.
and it is a very highly detailed map. I'm just throwing that out there. Anyways, continue.
No, no, it's on you now.
Oh, it's on me now.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Well,
I
I
haven't played on it yet, so.
I got some really strong Riverbend Springs vibes when I did my map tour on this one. Very strong. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I actually kind of enjoyed this map. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5, above average. But I think I'm going to make a small addendum. Now, I learned because Samuel actually reached out to me, the map maker reached out to me and let me know that it is possible to remove the fencing from the entirety of the map without owning that property. So that actually is really, really close to bumping it up to a 4. It's not going to get it there, but it's really like broaching that subject. I think it's a really sharp map. It's got beautiful undulations. It's got a nice kind of layout. Now, the only thing that's kind of wonky to me, and this is actually brought up by Taco de Groot. So, Taco, thank you so much for sending me this. The biggest things that kind of was wonky was these big, large production sites that are kind of at the end of these really kind of two-tracky kind of roads. Just didn't necessarily make sense for the most part. So just one of those where it just kind of is slight inconsistency, but not the end of the world kind of thing. Certainly not the end of the world, but still a good map.
Let's see here. Yeah, I haven't played on that one yet, so. So your next one's gonna be what's up?
Before we move on, let me just catch up here real quick. Taco says, I have a fantastic evening, just enjoying a double shot of Johnny Walker Swing, best blended whiskey ever. Ooh, very nice. Let's see. Also says, actually, a cow is 100% a grass-fed animal in real life. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that they would only eat grass. I thought they had to have other things in order to have a healthy, balanced diet. But I am certainly not an expert, so
Mainly
be
for Holsteins.
happily mainly for Holsteins. Okay, okay.
Holsteins are the ones that need TMR.
Oh, okay, okay. Well then, look at me. I'm learning. The more you know. And then Taco also says everything else is very enhanced and artificial. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. All right, and that's everything.
Perfect. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Falcon 3-seater. This is by KZ Modding. It's going to be 20.14 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $15,000. You do have a horsepower required of 100. And working with a 3 meters. And it does hold It has a capacity of 200 liters, which I'm assume is going to be solid fertilizer, and then you have a capacity of 1,200 liters, which I think is going to be seed, or it's vice versa.
Yeah, I think it's possibly vice versa
It might be.
because you figure those the white bins tend to be the seed bins.
Yeah,
So I don't know. This I could be wrong about that, but that's typically how I've seen it before.
yeah.
But taking a look at our closest comparables, 20.14 megabytes, so 21 megabytes to install this. That's approaching bit on the high side. 3 meter working with, so we're already talking that's pretty significantly small. Um, if we take a look, what is our closest comparable? It's probably going to be the Amazon Presea 4500 2C Super. This is $15,000 to buy the Agromaz. Now, that's pretty cheap compared to the Amazon. The Amazon is 49,500, so that's pretty good. Now, the working with though is less to be desired because the working with for the mod here is 3 meters. The Amazon is 4.5. So you're getting an extra meter and a half, but is that meter and a half worth the extra, what is it, 15, 25 grand to purchase? I don't know. I don't think it is. And then you take a look at the actual volumes. It just gives a total value of the Amazon of 1,580 to where this one is 2,400. I'm sorry, 1,400 total. So you're talking it's a little bit smaller, but considerably cheaper. So all in all, I think that this is a decent mod. Again, approaching the higher end of the comfortability range for this file size. But if you're looking for a small 3 meter seeder or planter, here you go.
Right. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Ivy Piggery. This is by MA7 Studio. It's going to be 18.35 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $51,000. You have a capacity of 32 pigs, which the pasture can be extended.
I mean, it's MA7 Studios. I mean, should I continue to rant and rave on how amazing MA7 Studios is and their style and their ability to bring us such amazing mods? This
See,
is just yet another example of it.
I think it's funny. Well, because the next four are also by MA7 Studio, but all of them are 5-star ratings.
As well as they should be. I mean, they literally should be. MA7 Studios does a fantastic job, and you look at the detail that's on this building, the brickwork, the kind of I forget what that's called. It's not stucco, but it's that kind of plaster. There we go. The plastering that's kind of weathering away from the brick underlayment. I mean, it's an amazing looking building. It just looks like it's lived in an old and just seen better days. I love it. I absolutely love it. 18.35 megabytes to install, so 19 megabytes to install, 32 pigs and $51,000. All that's, relatively reasonable. That's not too bad.
Right.
And if we take a look at just a quick close comparable, looking at our pigs here, let's see, it does 32. Oops, I'm in sheep. Let's see, probably gonna be the shed with pig pasture. Can hold 25 pigs, so this holds 32. That's a little bit more, so that's nice. The price tags. The mod here is 51,000 compared to the shed with pig pasture 44,000. So it's a little bit more expensive, less than 10 grand. It's not that bad, but you're getting, an extra, 7 pig capacity with the ability to customize the size of the pasture itself. And all in all, I think that this mod just looks significantly better than the shed with pig pasture base game. So all that being said, go download it because it's fantastic.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Ivy. The oh no, sorry. I cannot read. The Ivoy Chicken Coop by MA7 Studio. It's going to be 19.16 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $23,000. Capacity of 60 chickens, and that's it. You can't even extend the pasture out. but it looks phenomenal though.
And pretty much copy and paste everything that I said for Taco de Groot. I'm sorry for MA7 Studios. Basically, copy and pasted everything that I said before. This is fantastic. It looks amazing. That brickwork on the inside, the pillar structure that you can see in the screenshot there, it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And again, looking at our closest comparables, we've got room for 60 chickens. So really, there's not a good comparable. The closest one we have is the chicken coop that holds 30 chickens. And I mean, you're talking 60 chickens compared to 30 chickens, so you have half the capacity, but the price differences, that's where it's going to be a big difference. The base game one is $4,400. This is $23,000. So the base game is actually significantly cheaper. But again, this one is so much more highly detailed that I would be willing to spend the extra, almost 20 grand in order to have this one,
Right.
and have an additional 30 chicken capacity. 20 megabytes to install is not that bad when you're taking a look at the, beautiful structure that this is. So yeah, absolutely love this.
Next one is going to be the Ivoy cereal, which is Silo. This is also by MA7 Studio. It's going to be 23.91 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $80,000. You do have capacity of 500,000 liters, which is the total capacity.
So again, it looks fantastic. MA7 Studios, just you know what? Copy and paste everything I've said before for the animal pastures into this one as well. Just it's fantastic. I don't need to say much more.
Next one is going to be the Ivoy Farm Garage by MA7 Studio. It's going to be 19.44 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $22,000. This does actually have, in the front piece, it does have a repair trigger, which extends out to the bigger area.
Copy paste.
Let's see, and last new mod for Tuesday, it's going to be the Ivoy Straw Hanger, also by MA7 Studio. It'll be 19.21 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $46,000. Now, when it says production recipe, yeah, it basically just means this is what I can hold. And it can hold, I think it was 1,000 pellets, I think.
Copy paste. I mean, what more do I need to say? This is absolutely gorgeous. I love that it's got that rough, rustic kind of look to it that is just really, really, I don't know, just that lived in feel. It's got that kind of vibe of it's been here, it's established, and it is just built with purpose. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Now on for Monday's mods. So the first one we're looking at here is the Case IH Traction King series.
We're going to pick our favorites?
Oh, that's right. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so if I'm leading the charge on this one, then I'm gonna basically say the Avoy pack, the whole set of buildings that we have here for the Avoy, the piggery, the chicken coop, the cereal, and the garage, and the straw hanger. All of these in combination with themselves, you look at just how highly detailed that each and every one of them are, and each one of them are not that intrusive on the file size. Love them. Absolutely love them. I cannot pick a favorite amongst all of them. I'm just going to say the whole lot of them because this will make an amazing, amazing farm build. Just a small little, kind of building structure. Just a farm, the whole farm setting. This would be an amazing one to have.
Oh, and I 100% agree with you.
There we go. And just real quick here, we got Trucker Matsy. How's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says good morning. Benji, how's it going? Hope you're having a great one as well. Says good evening, everyone. Good evening, Benji. Taco says that chicken coop looks great. 100% agree. Also says to Trucker Matsy, good morning. Question mark, question mark. It's 10:38 p.m. here. Greek Greg, how's it going? Greg, hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says, I love those buildings. 100% agree. Says, spot on and avoid for the win. 100%. Couldn't agree with you more. And Trucker Matsy says, LOL, just messing. Gotcha, gotcha. And that's it.
Perfect. All right. That was from Monday's mods. So the first one we're going to have is the Case IH Traction King series. This is by Farm Central Soul, which you already submitted an update in for this, which I'll talk about here in a minute. You you do have a series. You get 25.64 megabytes to download. You do have a base price of $70,000. You do have a horsepower range between 210 and 300. Now, I say there's an update pending because in the Lizard wheels, I believe it's the Lizard. You see the Lizard or Trelleborg, but there are a bunch of tires missing. so, oh.
So I absolutely adore this mod. I love it. So the reason I like this mod so much is, again, that kind of old school feel and vibe of this tractor. I love that it's got the 4-point turning on it, so each of the wheels turn. So it kind of has that turning radius and ability that a telehandler would have in game. So you get really tight turns, you get a nice, powerful tractor, and it's not that intrusive on the file size. It's on the upper ends of what I look for personally. So it's 26 megabytes, so it's right up at the ceiling
Right.
of what I look for. But what makes this, something that I'm willing to ignore that ceiling on is the price. If we take a look, 210 horsepower is the starting capacity of this tractor for $70,000. If we take a look at a comparable, it'd be put you in the medium tractor range. And let's see, looking at 210 horsepower is our kind of starting point. We'll say the Valtra T Series is a good comparable. 70,000 for the case here, as compared to the Valtra, $168,000. You're talking almost $100,000 in savings for the same exact horsepower. You get the upgraded ability to be able to have the tight turns compared to any of the other tractors, and have crab steering and all that stuff. It's fantastic. It's a great tractor. I love it, and absolutely downloaded this, right away.
Oh, I did too. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the the Gentil. Yeah, I think it's pronounced that Gentil. MVV14D. This is by USM or Universe Simu Modding, which Gentil is a brand new brand actually into the game. This is going to be 10.56 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag at $24,800. You do have a capacity of 14,000 liters.
So if we take a look at our closest comparable, we have the K brand RA142 is going to be our closest one. And 11 megabytes to install, not that bad. And we take a look at our capacities. So the Gentil is 14,000 liters, as compared to the K brand is 11,900. So this one is a little bit bigger than the K brand. We take a look at the prices. The K brand, $38,500. So the mod is 24,800. So you're saving more than 10,000. You're almost up to about, what is that, 14,000 ish almost for savings. And you get a bigger capacity. So 11 megabytes to install, bigger capacity, and cheaper price. Sign me up.
Right. So your next one will be the John Deere 5M series. This is by WolfX Modding, aka White Bull Modding. This is going to be 43.95 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag, a base price, starting at $77,500. You do have a horsepower range between 94 and 120.
So taking a look at again our closest comparables, just taking a look here real quick. 94 to start. That's gonna put us in about the the Case Farmall series, C series, as well as the Class Arian series. So we'll look at the Case because that's gonna be a little bit more reasonable. So checking this out, 44 megabytes to install. That's already well over the threshold that I look for any of my mods. So that one there is kind of a deal breaker for me, unfortunately. But let's see if there's any kind of redeeming qualities. The John Deere has a starting price of 77,500. The Case has a starting price of 82,000, so it's a little bit cheaper. The power for this one, base power is 94 horsepower for the John Deere. The Case is 90, so a little bit cheaper and a little bit of extra horsepower. But for almost 44 megabytes, it's going to be a pass for me, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised I passed up on that too.
Really?
I see. I passed up
Who
on
are
that.
you and what have you done with Will T?
See, I passed up on that, but I got all custom modding stuff. So
So you had to save your megabytes somewhere.
yeah. Next one is gonna be the John Deere 3400 pack. This is by Black Sheep Modding. This is gonna be 18.18 megabytes to download. For the John Deere 3400, which is a telehandler, you do have a base price of $95,000. You do have a horsepower of 145. Then you have a bucket with optional manure grab. This is going to be a base price of $2,200. Capacity is 2,500 liters. You do have a pallet fork, which has a price tag of $2,000. You do have a Farm Bay V15 3400, which is a weight. You have a price tag of $650. And you have a 3-point support with a price tag of $900. I love this.
Yeah. So this is a fantastic mod. I'm just going to come right out and say it. The reason being is that it basically kind of puts us in the comparison of the Merlot, which I absolutely love the Merlot because of the kind of, little trick under its hat. The 3-point link that it has in the rear. This one basically has the same exact thing. So that's why I'm going to compare to it rather than maybe something that's a closer power range or anything like that. So checking it out, 19 megabytes to install. That's really not bad, especially considering it's a telehandler. There's a lot of moving parts and all that stuff, and there's a lot of options for you to be able to tweak around. So 19 megabytes for this is not bad whatsoever. Then you take a look at the prices. 95,000 for the John Deere compared to the Merlot. Again, I'm going to compare it to that. 149,500. So you're saving quite a bit of money right off the bat with this John Deere. So not that bad to install, not that bad to buy. Then we take a look at the power. Now the Merlot has it beat. The Merlot has 170 horsepower. The John Deere has 145 horsepower. But the one thing I will say is horsepower, I mean, is normally for a telehandler is not that big of an issue one way or another. But for these ones, the horsepower does kind of make sense because you have that 3-point link. So that 3-point link, which will allow you to do, any kind of farm work outside of what a normal telehandler is capable of doing. But at the end of the day, this is going to be a much better kind of introductory telehandler with that additional feature of the 3-point link compared to the Merlot, because you're going to save in the ballpark of almost 50 grand. So yeah, all in all, I think this is a great mod, and I didn't install it at the time, but I am going to after this show.
I can tell you that the John Deere actually has a slight big longer reach than the Merlot does.
Nice.
So
That's even better.
let's see here. Oh yeah, and then the John Deere actually has a 3-point attachment for the front, so you can actually hook it up like onto the boom itself, and then you can be able to move things with that, which I think is awesome.
Oh no, see that I didn't even realize. That's actually really cool too. I'm hoping I could have found the picture for that, but I can't. Oh, it's right there. I see it right in the front.
Yeah,
So it's like a separate attachment to it.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Let's see. Next one is be the John Deere 90 skid steer loader. This is also by Black Sheep Modding. This is going to be 8.66 megabytes to download. You do have a base price of $15,000. You do have a horsepower of 108, and then you do have the shovel, which has a price tag of $600, capacity 1,000 liters. I love this too.
So I want to backtrack just really quick to the telehandler again. It was 19 megabytes to install, but what's really incredible, if you think about it, is that doesn't just include the telehandler. It also includes all those implements that come with the telehandler itself. So that's even more impressive that you get all those implements plus the telehandler at that megabyte range. That's really cool. Now, moving on to the skid steer here, the John Deere skid steer. Yeah, again, same thing as before. I really love this one. This one looks really good. It is 9 megabytes to install, so it's super super small. And then you have our comparables. The closest comparable for this one is going to be the Kubota, the SVL 97-2. We've got a price for the mod here of $15,000 compared to the price of the Kubota at $77,000. Right there, ka-ching, big, huge savings. And then you take a look at the power. The horsepower for the John Deere is 108. The horsepower for the Kubota, 96. 96 horsepower. I mean, where can you go wrong by installing this? I don't think you can. You get more horsepower, and you're saving in comparison to the Kubota, somewhere in the ballpark of $50,000.
Right.
I mean, that's incredible. Actually, it's closer to 60,000. I mean, you can't beat that. You just cannot beat it whatsoever. So yeah, this is again one I didn't download at the time. I'm going to download after this.
So yeah, next one is going to be the IH, or the International uh, 200 Series Custom by 82 Studio. This is going to be 35.26 megabytes to download. You do have a base price of $31,500. I installed this.
So I mean, again, where can you go wrong with custom modding? I mean, you really
Custom
can't.
modding.
I'm so custom. Sorry, custom 82 Studios. Wow, wow. 82 Studios. I really like their mods. They do a fantastic job, and they kind of had those like quality of life things that are really nice. Now this one here, you know, we've got let's see, a base price of 31,500 compared. We're gonna look at the international, kind of the like for like, at $25,000. So for an additional, $6,500, you can have this really gorgeous looking truck with all the kind of bells and whistles to it. And for 36 megabytes to install, that's a bit on the high side, but you do see where all the additional stuff comes in that makes it, that file size, or that makes it that size.
Yeah.
You got the bumpers, you got the lights, you got the cabin, you got the beds, you got the fenders, you got the hood scoops. I mean, you got so many different things. Yeah, I just like it. I really like it. They took kind of a really, sharp looking truck, and they kind of tricked it out. So, all in all, I like it. It's a little on the high side, but I can overlook it for this particular mod because it's very highly detailed.
Right. Let's see here. Next one is be the Lizard Warrior Plus. This is by Raleigh Christie 1 VSR Modding Sir. It's going to be 15.07 megabytes to download. Now you do have like different prices. So for the Lizard WR460, you have a price tag of $87,000. For the Lizard WR plus 550, you have a price tag of $96,000. And for the Lizard WR plus 620, you do have a horsepower I mean, not horsepower, yeah. Price range of $113,000.
So I believe the 460, 550, and 620 are the horsepower ranges. Is that, I'm sorry, the 460, 550, and 655, those are the
Yep,
horsepower ranges, correct?
yep,
So to use a kind of close-ish comparable would be the Volvo FH Electric minus the whole electric,
yeah.
kind of rigmarole that would go with it. Let's just kind of take the horsepower as a like for like, and that the fact that it's a semi truck. Looking at the prices, I mean, there's no comparable. There's nothing to compare because the Volvo is $145,000. Even the most expensive version of this mod is significantly cheaper than the base introductory price of the electric Volvo. So right there, total win. And then you take into account that it's only 16 megabytes to install, and it's got some bells and whistles to it as well. Yeah, I think this is a nice little mod. And I've always liked the look of this particular style of truck. It just reminds me of like an old school, like 80s semi truck. I like it. And yeah, I think it's a win.
I passed on it. But let's see. Next one is gonna be the Strawman Verdi Mix 1050. This is by ADA or Agro Design Austria. This can be 6.78 megabytes to download. You do have a uh, base price of $9,000. You do have a capacity of 10,500 liters. You do have a horsepower requirement of 50.
So again, close comparable is going to be the K brand RA142. And if we take a look, we've got a base price of $9,000. The K brand is 38,500. So you're saving a significant amount of money with this one here. We'd look at the capacities. The K brand is 11,900. This is 10,500. So this is a little bit smaller, but you're saving so much money and you're not losing that much. You're losing about 1,000 liters. Not the end of the world. And then horsepower requirements. This requires 50. The K brand is 90. So it is significantly cheaper. It's a little bit smaller, but significantly less in power. And it's only 7 megabytes to install. Yeah, I say install this all day, all night.
So your next one is going to be the Silo King EA 2300. This is by WolfX Modding, okay, Wipo Modding. This can be 5.25 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $5,500. You do have a capacity of 23,000 liters. This is a 3-point link in one, no wheels.
So this basically is a like a forage mixer, correct? Like this will this make TMR?
Yes, but there's one thing to note for this one though, is that when you're up near it or you attach to it, you can't see the mixing ratio.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he already sent an update for it, so I already know.
Oh,
I already talked.
gotcha.
I already talked to him about that. So
So I mean, it's going to be another way to do, TMR mixing, which is nice. There's really no good comparable to this because this is such a unique item. It's only $5,500. Again, the closest we've got is the K brand forage wagon. It blows it out of the water in the price because again, 38,500 compared to this is only 5,500, but it's significantly smaller than the K brand. This is 23,000 or 2,300 liters compared to 11,900 liters. But again, if you were to, scale this up to the 11,900, you're not going to be spending the same amount as the K brand. So price per liter does make this worth it. And 6 megabytes to install, it's not bad.
or
I'd say that once the update comes in, that it'll be worth it.
or I'm gonna take the words right out of Andy Farm's mouth. Your small farm shenanigans.
There we go.
So your next one is gonna be the Bale Trailer uh, Dangriffle. This is by 76 Max and Tom. This is going to be 5.53 megabytes to download. You do have a base price of $15,100.
Is this one a auto load?
That actually, I am. It doesn't say. It
I'm
just says.
guessing.
I'm assuming
I'm
it is.
guessing based on the arrangement of the bales and stuff on it, it looks too neat for somebody to just stacked it up like that. So
Right.
I'm guessing it's going to be a auto load. If it is a auto load, then it's nice. I like it. It's just yet another kind of loading trailer, low loader, whatever you want to call it, for transporting your bales and your products around the maps. For $15,100, it's not a bad price. It's not a bad install. It's 6 MB. All in all, yeah, I like it.
Farming with Outlaw AG. What's going on? What's going on, man? How you doing? See here. Next one is gonna be the John Deere 34. This is by AW Modding ABP team. This is gonna be 14.87 megabytes to download. You do have a base price at $3,250. You do have a working width of 8 meters and a capacity of 6,000 liters. I love this, just especially if you're running a small farm.
Oh yeah, yeah, for certain. So again, taking a look at our comparables, we got the FarmTech VarioFX 750. The price of the John Deere here is $3,250. The FarmTech is $32,500. So it's significantly cheaper, the John Deere here. We take a look at our capacity, 6,000 for the John Deere compared to 4,900 liters. So you get a little bit extra space here on the John Deere. Again, working widths, 8 meters to 8 meters. So it's significantly cheaper. It's got more capacity and same working width, and it's only 15 megabytes to install. Install this all day, all night.
Right. Let's see here. Next one's be the Lizard D-46. This is by Philip Plager 54. It's going to be 11.24 megabytes to download. You do have a base price of $6,000. You do have a capacity of 4,000 liters.
So again, for my trailers, I tend to look for a $1,000 per 1,000 liter, ratio. This one kind of fails on that, but not by much. You're talking about a $1,500 per 1,000 liters on this particular trailer. So not that bad. It's definitely a reduced price. 12 megabytes to install, $6,000 and 4,000 liters. All in all, I think this is a decent style of trailer. You can use it as like a bale trailer, as it shows on this screenshot here. Part of it's configurables and all that stuff. And 4,000 liter capacity. If we take a look at our kind of closest comparable, we've got, let's see, probably going to be the FarmTech EDK 650. $6,000 for the Lizard brand here compared to the FarmTech's $6,000. And again, 4,000 liter capacity for the Lizard mod. We got a 4,000 liter capacity for the FarmTech. So right now it's all like for like. And then 12 megabytes to install. Me personally, I'm going to go ahead and skip this one because it's literally the same kind of specs as the FarmTech, with the only exception being the kind of old rustic look that this one has. If you're looking for that kind of old rustic charm that this one has, then that's fantastic. Good to download it, but I think I will use the 12 megabytes somewhere else.
Right. Real quick, Farming with Outlaw G says, just been messing around with the realistic livestock mod. That I I wish Giants would add that to base game. That adds so much more. It says with Giants would add it into the game, but I think Giants would have to step away from console before they add it to the base game. I mean, I don't think so. I think that they could, probably in like their own way. No, so basically, what the realistic livestock mod is, basically take seasons from 19 for the animal system, right?
Okay.
But enhance it almost tenfold. Um, so so basically, like your animals will die if you don't take care of them.
Okay.
And every animal you get has a very specific number tag on its ear, so you know what is what. And then to actually have calves, you need to have bulls and your female cows.
Okay.
And then you'll also get docked a fee for every time a doctor comes or whatever, a vet to come and visit your cows every month, which I think is kind of neat. The amount of
That is cool.
the amount of realism that comes with, there's a whole lot more to it, but the amount of realism that goes into that just just blows my mind. The realistic livestock would be a game changer. Yeah, it's the exact same modder who made the that realistic weather thing for PC players. Do you want to catch up with your chat real quick, or are you all caught up?
I do, I do. So we've got Ken. How's it going, Ken? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. I know it's you got some things going on there, so you take care of yourself. Says, what up, people? What up, Ken? Chucker Matsey says that tractor is getting an update because of the tire issue. Yes, yes. Thank you, thank you. We got Taco saying, gotta go have fun, folks. All right, Taco. Well, I hope you have yourself a fantastic night. You take care, and we'll see you again next time. Benji says, take care to Taco. And Benji also says, hey to Ken. Farming with Outlaw Ag. How's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic night so far. Says, hi, everyone. How's everyone doing? Doing fantastic. I am in my new home now, and so glad to be here. I'm out in the country. It is so well, country compared to what I've been in for quite some time, but it's so quiet, so peaceful. Couldn't be happier. Luke, how's it going, Luke? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says hello, everyone. And then we got Ken saying, what up to Benji? And I'm all caught up.
Real quick, Trucker Matsy actually sent in an update to his map,
Oh, nice.
so that I do know. Let's see. Next one is going to be Old Tank Liquid. This is by Natural Modding. It's going to be 15.78 megabytes to download. You do have a base price tag of $7,800.
So, do you know if this one? Oh, it's pictured next to a slurry
It does not
tank.
spread
So I
out.
presume that this. Oh, no. But does it take more than just water? Like I presume it takes like water, slurry, and like kind of the base
So,
liquids.
as far as I'm aware, it takes all base liquids. The only thing I don't think it takes is milk.
Okay, which is totally fine. I think that the design, number one, I really like it. I love how the paint looks like it's cracking and kind of fraying. It gives that really kind of old school look that I personally appreciate. 16 megabytes to install, and we've got $7,800 to buy. So not that intrusive on the price, but the megabytes for the style of tanker it's up there, but not not over my threshold. But I mean, this is a gorgeous looking mod. And then we kind of look at our kind of comparables. It doesn't say how much this holds, so that's kind of a sad thing. But we can compare it to, at bare minimum, the Lizard MKS8. And the reason I'm going to use that one as compared to anything else is because of it potentially, or I should say, holds all the kind of base liquids, as does the kind of Lizard MKS8. 8,000 liters is what the MKS8 can hold, and it's $25,000. If this thing holds, let's say, even, I don't know, come on, why is my math not mathing? If it holds, let's see, 78 times 2 is 40, 15. Let's say, I don't know, about 3,000 liters ish, then this will be kind of in line with the pricing scale and will be worth the actual investment into this. If this holds anything more than that, if this holds closer to the 8,000 that the other one does, then yeah, that'll be, all day, all night download this. And you get that kind of really nice rustic old school look to it. Yeah, would love it. So I would download it just based on its look alone because I think it's just that kind of a cool look that it has. But I would also want to know kind of the more specifics about how much it can hold, what it can hold.
Right, right. Let's see here. Next one's be the Lizard 15 Cultivator. This is by KZ Modding. This is going to be 14.79 megabytes to download. You do have a base price tag of $7,000. You have a horsepower requirement of 105, and you have a working width of 4.5 meters.
So we're gonna have to look at a couple of comparables because this kind of falls neatly in between. So we are gonna have to look at the Agromaz Grizzly X4 and the Lemken Schmargd 9 500K. Reason being is that the Agromaz is 4 meters and the Lemken is 5 meters. This being right in the middle at 4.5, we'll kind of use that as our baseline. So the Agromaz is $28,000. This is $7,000. So this is significantly cheaper, and is a little bit bigger than the Agromaz. Then we take a look at our horsepower requirements. The Agromaz is 240 requirement, and this is 105. So you get a bigger cultivator with less horsepower requirement and significantly cheaper. And then the Lemken, again, about half a meter bigger, but is $24,500. Again, compared to the 7,000, it's significantly cheaper. I say go with this all day, all night. It is a nice high detailed mod and does look like it has that kind of drag behind it, which gives you that nice cultivated look. What I'd be interested in is based on those kind of tines in the front there, if it may give you some kind of plowed state potentially. I'm not sure.
No.
No? Okay. Then yeah, 15 megabytes to install. Not that bad. So I would install this.
Right. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Dipper Fox. This is by ITS. It's going to be 5.31 megabytes to download. You do have a base price tag of $13,040. This is a stump remover. It's a very unique looking stump remover, though.
It's definitely nice looking, and it gives us something to, kind of give us yet another reason to get a skid steer. Unless you specifically like go out of your way to get a skid steer, there's really not a lot of applications for it in game. Unless you're in like a small farm kind of thing and you need the kind of mobility that a skid steer has. But I mean, a telehandler or wheel loader oftentimes have bigger capacities and are going to be able to do a lot more for you than a skid steer does. So I oftentimes use skid steers as a kind of like background kind of thing. Like, okay, I just want it just because I want it
Right.
kind of thing. And this just gives us kind of a new application for that skid steer. And you're talking $13,000 to purchase and 6 megabytes to install. That's not that bad if you're looking for a stump grinder.
Right. Let's see here. Farming with Outlaw says with the realistic livestock mod, it needs an update. The cows need to be fed a lot in a day. Well, I don't think so. Only just because in real life, you feed cows twice a day. So, once in the morning, once in the afternoon. So, let's see here. Next one is going to be the Lizard Quadra Pack. This is by Nico Pixes. This is going to be 7.09 megabytes to download. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have like 5 different versions. They're just bale stackers.
Yeah, little bale grabs. I like it. I think this is a nice little mod, and if you like to kind of handle your bales in this kind of manner, then having this kind of range of what they can do is nice. And we have something that we can compare to. It would be closely compared to the Albert Bale Fork F155A for the telehandlers. This has a range between $2,780 all the way up to $5,960. The Albut is $6,250, and I think it only holds 3 bales because basically it's used in tandem with the Krone square baler, with the trail behind collector. So this will take up to 4 bales. So you get more bail capacity for less money, and it's only 8 MB to install. So all in all, I like it. I think it's a nice little mod, and it's offers another way to be able to stack your bales.
Oh yeah. Let's see here. Next one is gonna be the Lizard Fork. This is by bgamer003. This is going to be 3.02 megabytes to download. You do have a base price of $400, and it does hold certain bales, which you can see. So you can either have it as it looks like you can have it as like round like the tubes which you use to collect up silage bales. Which you got a double, a single. You do have a bale spike, and you do have pallet forks. So
I like it. I like this a lot actually. So 3 MB to install, not that intrusive. $400 to buy, again, not that bad. And the fact that you can get, pallets, pallet forks or the round bale spikes, or just you know spikes together. I mean, what I like about it is it has these straps that you can kind of lasso around the bales themselves to where it just makes it to where it'll lock it down. And it's just a different way of kind of going about doing things. And we do have the little bale grabber kind of thing. I got to remember where to find it because it's in a weird spot. I think it's under, is it transport? Yeah, it's the Flegel Smitterling. $2,800 for that compared to the $400 that this one has. Yeah, all in all, I like it. I think it's a nice little mod and a different way of doing things.
let's see here. Next one. Oh, next one's gonna be the Lizard Mega Mulcher Mower. This is by Mac Trucker 921. This is gonna be 15.85 megabytes to download. Um, for so you have a base price tag of $115,000. Then you have an unrealistic base price, which is $125,000. Um, Basically, you can configure between a mower and a mulcher. The cost of the configuration is $4,000. It does require horsepower of 350. It is a has a 27.7 meter working width. And then for your max normal speed is 9 miles an hour, and your max unrealistic speed is 25. I love this thing.
I think this thing's fantastic. I mean, it looks like the most unrealistic piece of equipment out there, but I don't care. I don't care whatsoever. I think this thing's fantastic. I mean, you kind of look at things like the Krone Big M 450 for its working width. That's only 10 meters. This is more than almost triple the working width of the Krone Big M.
Yeah,
And that's insane. And it requires 350 horsepower, so it requires a big tractor. I mean,
yeah,
it's not going to be something that you're just going to be able to just swoop up and grab right away. So it's going to be something you're going to have to work towards because you're going to need to have a big, big beefy tractor, and you're going to have to spend the money on this, $115,000 as the kind of base price. I mean, if you compare that to the Krone Big M's $468,000 price tag, I mean, you're already spending about $300,000 less for that. I mean, you can have this track or this mulcher slash mower, and you can get a $300,000 tractor to go with it to be able to power it. I mean, yeah, you basically got a 3x Krone Big M
yeah,
for the same amount of money.
yeah.
I mean, all in all, I think this is fantastic. 16 megabytes to install. Download this all day, all night.
Right. Let's see here. Uh, Next one is going to be the double big bag hook for telescopic lifter. What a name. Um, it's going to be 0.80 megabytes to download. You do have a base price tag of $1,800.
I mean, this one is kind of what it is. It is, just a big bag lifter that we have access to for a double hook. Trying to find just a kind of close comparable for this one. Yeah, here we go. For front loader tools, we got the Quickie Big Bag Lifter Dual. For $1,250, we can use that. Now, this one is specific to telehandler, as best as I can tell, and I don't think we have
Mhm.
a big bag lifter base game for the telehandlers. So, if you want to be able to do a big bag with your telehandler, this is going to be a good option. But I mean, all in all, it's probably going to be one I just pass just because I don't often use these telehandler hooks or
Right.
these big bag hooks. Um,
Same.
you know, but if you want to, you can. It's now an option.
Let's see here. Next one would be the Lizard SH3500. This is by Nordity. It's going to be 4.87 megabytes to download. You do have a base price tag of $4,500. You have a working width of 3.5 meters. So it's a style compactor roller.
Um, I tend not to do a ton of work in silage clamps and bunker silos, so this one's kind of a miss for me. But 5 megabytes to install, $4,500 to purchase, and a working with. I mean, really doesn't really matter the working with. Um, all in all, it is what it is. I'm gonna kind of be indifferent on this one.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be a platform. This is by John GM. This is going to be 0.64 megabytes to download. You do have a base price tag of $2,500. You know, for some odd reason, it's saying it has a horsepower requirement of 60.
Hmm. I mean, it's basically just a little loading platform that hooks up to your 3-point tractors. Um, it's just a kind of a different way of approaching the transportation of items, your logs, your bales, your pallets.
Right.
All in all, I'm kind of indifferent on this one. Less than a megabyte to install, $2,500 to buy. I mean, it is what it is. If this is something that you kind of want to use and kind of go forward with, you can. Uh, but I'm kind of like I said, indifferent. Neither good nor bad on this one.
Right. Real quick, Farmhouse says the cows I had on Ashton Corners every 20 minutes need to get. Yeah, that needs an update. Yeah, that should not be happening. Do you have any chat to catch up with? Are you good?
I have one. I've got one from Luke. It says, "Have a good night. Have a good night, Luke. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you have yourself a fantastic rest of your night. You take care, and we'll see you again next time."
Let's see. Next one is going to be the Brussels Unlaid. Not Brussels and laid, it's Brussels Unlaid. uh,
Ooh, gotta be fancy.
yeah, fancy. Safety bumper. This is by Schweidenbuer. Schweidenbuer. This can be 0.91 megabytes to download. You do have a base price tag of $2,000. This has a width of 2.8 meters. It's a weight.
I mean, I'm not too certain how safe this safety bumper is because if this thing tags me, I think I just would rather it not be around. Because just saying that it's going to cause damage regardless of.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, jokes aside, yeah, it's a weight. I mean, $2,000, and I mean, it is what it is.
Yep. Let's see here. Uh, Next one is going to be the Lizard 200 series front loaders. This is by AEN Design. It's going to be 9.68 megabytes to download. Basically, you got you got three different. You have three different versions. You got the 240, 260, which has a base price tag of $7,000. Horsepower need is 60. Then you have the Lizard 245 to 265. Base price is $7,500. Horsepower need is 80. You have the Lizard 275, which has a base price tag of $8,200. Horsepower need is 120. It's just a front loader. It's basically the MP front loader, but Lizard brand.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. This would be one I'm gonna hard pass on because I mean, it's a front loader, and we've got plenty of front loaders. Base game, I don't need a mod for my front loaders.
Right. Let's see here. Next one is going to be Pack of Small Shelters. This is by uh, uh, Libzoos? I don't know.
The booze?
It's going to be a 14.85 megabytes to download. You have a base price tag of your price tag of $8,000. Daily cost is $50 a day.
This one I kind of like. Take a look at it. It's 15 megabytes to install and 8 grand to buy, so it's not that intrusive in the file size and it's not that intrusive on the price. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a small little shelter. I mean, you'll be able to hold a few vehicles and maybe a few random little bric-a-brac in it, but it has this kind of nice array of what it will look like. You can have just kind of a basic kind of metal structure with the kind of wood supports. You can have a nicer kind of looking colored structure where it's got the, in this picture, a red kind of painting to it. You can have this kind of old rustic barn looking structure too, which is really kind of nice. I like that. So it's really going to be, customizable to the kind of style that you want to have. So all in all, for 15 megs, it might be worth an install.
Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Next one's be the European Decorative Buildings Pack. This is by Mr. Hector. It's be 158.68 megabytes to download. I'm not gonna read all these off. but
I mean, gonna be a pass for me. I mean, 160 megabytes to install, and yeah, you get a whole bunch of different things to it. You get barns, you get buildings, you get, like it looks like you get sleep triggers, you get like houses, all these different things. You get warehouses, like all this stuff, and that's all fine and dandy, but I don't need to decorate so badly that I want to use up, a map's worth of size for deco.
right. I agree. Let's see here. Next one's being Manure Storage Pack. This is by Swifty. This is me 14.89 megabytes to download.
Get swifty with it.
Yeah. Yeah, one, two, three. Basically, you have four in this pack. So basically, you have one with a roof, one without a roof, one with a roof, one without a roof. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a nice little way to hold your slurry, but all in all, I mean, probably gonna be a pass for me. 15 megabytes to install, which isn't that intrusive, but we've got options, and for it just having roofs versus no roofs, I'll just go with base game.
Right. Let's see.
And again, if we kind of do our due diligence and look at the kind of closest comparables to this, it'd be under your silos. Let's see, base game. There we go. Liquid manure tank, 500,000 liter capacity. The smallest one here is 1.7 million liters. So it's significantly bigger than the mod is bigger than the base game one by a factor of 3 almost. Actually, more than 3. But the prices, take a look at this, 130,000 for the smallest one here. Compared to 65,000 base game, but again, it's got 3 times the capacity, so you basically triple that silo size for the base game one. You're almost at $210,000 for that same capacity size.
Right.
So it's smaller per thousand or thousand. The price per liter is smaller on the mod than it is on the actual base game. So it is, a cost savings, even though it's a, bigger upfront cost. So it's going to be worth it if, slurry is your thing.
Right. Let's see here. Next one is going to be Small Garage. This is by Roger. It's going to be a 17.03 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $24,500, and you have a daily upkeep of 10.
It's a nice looking mod. I do think that this has a nice little charm to it. 18 megabytes to install and 25 grand to purchase. You got the kind of multiple block brick look to it, which looks really sharp. It's got that nice old rustic look to it, which again I appreciate and like. But again, it's for those small farms. It's got that kind of smallness to it, and all in all, if you got a small farm going, then this will be a nice little welcome addition. But for the kind of playing that I do, I tend to kind of pass on these.
Yeah. So your next one is gonna be Storage Shed. This is by Lancy Boy. Congratulations on your very first mod out.
Lancy boy, let's go.
This is gonna be 29.44 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $60,000. You have a daily upkeep of $50. It looks absolutely phenomenal, especially with like the staircase going up as the spiral run.
Yeah, that spiral staircase really sets it apart. 30 megabytes, though, is a bit large for my taste. 60 grand is not that bad, uh, but it's one of those where you do get a very decent sized building for that price, so that's nice. 30 megabytes, meh. But again, what you're going to get is a very specific looking building, something that's going to fit into kind of like a English European style map. But all in all, if that is a style of map that you're playing on, this is going to be a good download. I would download this every step of the way if I was playing on a European style map.
Right. Let's see here. Next one is going to be Barn with a Cowshed. This is by Radix Games. This is only 32 megabytes. I mean, not 32, 32 slots. Compared to his usually like 60 something. This is going to be 6.31 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $27,000. And to hold, let's see here, you have a daily upkeep of $45 a day. And the cow shed with holds 20 cows.
I mean, I think this is a really nice mod. 7 megabytes to install, not that bad. $27,000 to buy, again, not that bad. And 20 cow stall to it. It's awesome. So it's got storage, it's got space for your cows. It's nice. Um, all in all, I think this is definitely a nice one. And I mean, the detailing on it. You got the kind of decorations that's on around the side of it. You got the kind of ladder on the side here. You got some what look to be kind of storage bins on the side as well. You got the ivy and moss kind of growing up the sidewalls and stuff. Highly textured and detailed. I mean, you can see why the uh, slot count is really high. Um, I just don't like what's wild to me is that the megabytes is so low, but the slots is so high.
Right.
I don't know how they're coding it to make it work out like that, to where it's so high in the slots but low on the megabytes. But I wish more uh, modders would do this because this is a very good, highly detailed building, and I'd rather it take up the slot counts than the file size.
Right. Let's see here. Next one is going to be Curb Pack. This is by Zeki Modding or Zeki Modding. It's going to be 10.12 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $5. Basically, you can build your own curbs.
This is going to be a pass for me. 11 megabytes I can use somewhere else. Um, I, again, never wanted to decorate so badly that I want to, spend 11 megabytes to have it.
Right. Let's see here. Next one is going to be Front Shed. This is by the Design Farmer. This is going to be 2.24 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $25,000. You have a daily upkeep of $8, and it's a 40 by 20.
I mean, this is a nice little mod. You take a look at it, it's 3 megabytes to install, so it's not that intrusive, and 25 grand to buy for a 40-meter shed. That's absolutely huge. You're going to have tons of storage with this, and it's got a nice little design to it. I like the little kind of red iron trusses to it, as well as the kind of green outskirts with the concrete underlayment. I think it looks really good. I think it's got some nice little detail to it, and it's going to have some good practical uses as well. So all in all, I think it's really nice, and I would download this every day of the week.
Let's see, I also feel like that would fit in really good with like a European map.
100%. Yeah, it definitely fit in with a nice European style map.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be Concrete Wall. This is by Nico Pixels. This is going to be 4.83 megabytes to download. You do have a price range between $800 to $1,350. So, I mean, it's basically concrete walls.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of, to me, kind of in the weights category. I mean, it is what it is. If this is the kind of playing style that you like to have, then that's fantastic. Me personally, this is probably going to be a pass for me, even though this could have some utility to it, but not something I'm going to trip over to go and get.
Right. So your next one is going to be Better Lights. This is by Hot Online Team. It's going to be 4.71 megabytes to download. And there's a lot to this. There's a lot of lights. But basically, you can choose either to have an automatic light or manual light. Um, you can control like the tilt, and you can also raise it up and down, control where the lights are. Then you also have ones you can put on like anywhere, basically on the buildings and everything. So I really like this.
I like it too. For 5 megabytes to install, and you get so many different options, and the most expensive one you're talking is about what, $800. I mean, it's really nice to have these as a, I mean, technically it's a deco, but it's something that actually has a good purpose other than just decoration. It allows you to, be able to light up an area on your farm, very nicely. And yeah, you got some good options with this. And again, for 5 megabytes, I think this is worth the download space. Absolutely.
And the only update I'm going to go over though is for Elma, Missouri by Celebuki, 608.27 megabytes to download. This is going to be version 1.0.0.2. Change it like 1.0.0.2. Add a custom soil map for precision farming. These changes do not require a new game save.
Great map, great update. I'm happy.
So, what's your favorite mod from them?
Oh my goodness. So this one here, this one is going to probably be the Lizard Mega Mulcher Mower by Mac Trucker 921. I absolutely love this mod. I think it's fantastic. And yeah, it's going to make some quick work of mowing and mulching in the future.
See, that is a close third, but my favorite is the John Deere telehandler.
See, I really struggle as to which one was going to be my top spot,
Yeah,
and that was a very close second.
well, it's 11:38. So, do you want to just pick out certain mods from last week, or do you just want to talk about the one big mod that dropped last week, or do you want to go over the mods?
Let's go ahead and talk about the one big mod as it's getting kind of late. I think we're going to have to unfortunately skip out on the week I missed out on.
Which is perfectly fine. So the big mod that we are referring to is Precision Farming from Giant Software. 121.36 megabytes to download. And of course, it came with the Syria Scout, like I did last time. Price tag is $17,000. You got your IZEA Proactive, which is a scanner for upfront, which has a price tag of $23,900. And then you have your John Deere R732i Power Spray, which is the one that came with the previous version, which you have a base price tag of $52,500. You have working with between 24 to 28 meters. You have a capacity of 3,360 liters. And now for the new one, you have the John Deere R975i Power Spray. You have a base price of $103,500. You have a working with 36 meters. You have a capacity of 7,500 liters. And then also new with this is the Weinhoff WPS TA25 Profi line. This is a slurry tanker, but it's like one of those platform changeable things, changing systems. You have a base price tag of $257,000, capacity 25,000 liters. This is a huge game changer for Farm Sim. I know it's been in all the other mods, in the other two games, but this in 25, completely different.
Yeah, I absolutely love precision farming. Now, this is going to require an update because I have experienced some issues with some of the contract work, specifically around cultivating. I have not been able to finish cultivating contracts because they get about 91% done and they don't finish. I think the reason that is because of the tram lines that are put in place on the fields. I think it's cutting out too much of the product for you to be able to actually finish the contract. Now, that being aside, what I love specifically about this mod, and I've said this many times, but I'll go ahead and say it again, is that two things. One, it adds a kind of layer of realism into the game that is absolutely totally welcome in my book. But what it also does is that actually three things. So that's number one. Number two is that it makes it to where those precious fertilizers and stuff like that, you're using less of them because now you have the implements to be able to kind of tone down the amount you have to use, which makes your product go a longer way. That's fantastic. But what also this does, and it also kind of plays into what I was just saying about how you can use the products to go and last longer. It makes it to where things such as your slurry spreading and your manure spreading are actually of something that needs to happen, something that you should do, as opposed to in base game, you can slurry spread, you can manure spread, but there's no need to have to. So you might as well just save the money of your slurry spreaders, manure spreaders, and just do either like a offset application of solid fertilizer or something along those lines. And what I mean by that is you can get away with base game just putting in, fertilizer, lime, then fertilizer again. There you got your two fertilizer states, you're good to go there. You've got your lime put down, you're good to go there. Like there's no need to have a manure spreader or slurry spreader. In precision farming, you need it. And the reason being is because it's going to give you a much better score for your fields. You basically, how it works is that as you go through a specific process, as we tend to do when doing our farming, once you go through that process, it will give you a score for your field. And if you get that score higher, you get a bonus on any product that you sell after that score is taken into account. If you don't follow the process or you just kind of go crazy or do nothing to your fields, you then start to lose your score and thus can be docked a penalty when you sell your products. So it's just a whole new kind of way of approaching things. And then you have to worry about things such as soil types, which can change the application rate of your seeding. You can add, different like fertilizer elements to where if you're using like a fertilizer sprayer or a spreader, you can have the little sensor that will tell you exactly how much fertilizer you need to put down in order to get your crop up to maximum capacity. I mean, there's so much things that are added to this particular mod or from this mod to this game that it's just an absolute awesome experience. It does take a bit of time to kind of spin up to get to know and understand what all the different components do and how you have to kind of work with it. But all in all, absolutely love it. And for 121 megabytes, for the guy who always sits here and complains about, oh, megabytes, 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 this one I think is worth the amount spent on it because it adds that huge layer of gameplay ability to the game itself.
Right. Oh, absolutely. And well, it's exactly like what you were saying before. Is yes, I do agree. Like base game slurry and manure really have no effect unless you really just want to use it. But with precision farming, it's like you have to use it to get like the best score. So basically, you put down either, which I actually did some tests on this. Did you know that slurry gives you better of a yield than manure does? Now, which I think it's funny because I put slurry down in all my fields except for cornfields. And then I put manure, like solid manure, on my cornfields. And then I went vice versa. So I did a test run with slurry over cornfields, like in the game, and then I did solid manure on the rest of the fields. Do you know what the interesting thing is though?
What's that?
Is that when I did it the first time around, when I put when I put slurry on all the other fields, I got a great reading, great score. When I put manure on the cornfields, I got a great score. Now when I put manure on the regular fields, I got a horrible score because it didn't go up as much because you basically have to use like double the amount of solid manure. And then when I put liquid manure on the cornfields, it gave me less of a score. Isn't that weird?
That is weird. Yeah, that's not something I would have anticipated them doing. But I mean, again, it's one of those that you kind of have to learn the little quirks and trips and tips and tricks and all that kind of stuff. Again, it does take some time to spin up to understand and learn everything. But when you do, it's so worth it. It
Oh yeah.
really is. And to kind of reiterate, I'm not saying that like the manure spreaders and slurry spreaders aren't of value in base game. They are, but they're just not necessary.
Right.
In precision farming, they are necessary because what it's basically doing is it's discouraging you from using the solid and liquid fertilizers. It's wanting you to subsidize those to use less of them because in real life, and especially because this game is based over in Europe, the EU really hammers farmers to say, hey, don't use as much of these, chemical fertilizers
Yeah.
on your fields because they just frown upon them,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So they want them to use these slurry, the natural fertilizers as opposed to the artificial ones. So all in all, I mean, it's a nice welcome kind of addition to the game that I personally welcome with open arms. And again, it makes it to where these new, or not new, but these implements actually have a purpose. And unless you're just wanting to spend money in base game, you don't need them. You just don't need them. And again, it gives you all these kind of tools and to be able to use less of these products that's going to make your products go further and then you can actually start kind of utilizing these products for other purposes if you so choose. You can have leftover slurry, manure or solid fertilizers and then you can use those to kind of make or use them for other purposes, which is awesome. I absolutely love that you're able to kind of utilize that, and you can actually see in this screenshot here. You see how on this tractor the left bank of sprayers are going, but the right bank of sprayers are not. That's another part of the precision farming is that, and the reason why you can use less spray is because you're having that kind of precision control of your nozzles. You've got the kind of readers that will identify things like weeds or the areas of field that you've sprayed already. So you're not going to respray area that you already sprayed. It's going to turn off the nozzle, the jet that you're utilizing. So yeah, like I said, all in all, it's an amazing mod and it does a ton of stuff to enhance the game.
I also know that Farmer Cop did a test. Oh, and and I think it's funny because when he used liquid fertilizer and solid fertilizer, he got a better yield from using liquid fertilizer than he did solid fertilizer.
Really?
Now, for the solid fertilizer, yes, he still got a yield, but I think it was like 80, 85% of a yield compared to when you use liquid fertilizer, and he got about a 98. Um, it's because the liquid fertilizer shuts off when it needs to. Solid doesn't.
Yep.
So, now if you're good, like, not to brag, but if you're good like me, and you know when to shut it off, you'll be golden. But also, plowing gives you a 0 score. Like, you don't get any points for plowing. The only time I ever plow with precision farming is whenever the field pops up saying needs plowing.
Yep.
Other than that, I don't. Also, if a field says it doesn't need plowing, put lime down on it, like, immediately. Well, the very first thing you want to do is put slurry down, then put lime down, and then what you want to do is direct drill into the field, because that will boost the score up tremendously. Because I remember when I did a field, I put some slurry down, and then I put lime down, and it went from being a 50 to a 57 score, and then I ended up direct drilling corn into the field, and it went directly from a 57 almost to an 80. So, and then I did another test where I didn't need plowing, but I ended up cultivating it. It was a normal cultivator, it wasn't a shallow one, just a normal cultivator. Cultivated it over. I followed the exact same steps, except I didn't direct disc it into the ground, and it went from having, it actually didn't even boost up to a 57. It boosted up to a 54, and then it ended up going from 54 to a 65. So it all depends on how you do things. Plowing, like I said, will give you a 0 score. Like, deep cultivating, the only time I ever use a deep cultivator is after I plow. Because technically in real life, that's what you do. You use a deep cultivator after you plow. But after you done doing everything you need to do into the field, and then you get the best yield you can get off of it, you harvest it. And if it's like at the end of the season and you're like, okay, now it's coming up to winter, make sure you put a cover crop in there, which is oilseed radish, because that will give you a bonus. Now, once the winter's done with, then you take a disc harrow, not a cultivator, a disc harrow, and you go right over top of it. And then you can then if the field is still good, after that, you just direct drill. I think it's very unique on how they did it. Dude, I'm not kidding you. I spent at least 3 days testing the precision farming. 3 days.
Oh yeah, like I said, it's one of those where once you learn the mechanics, then it becomes second nature, and you get that bonus. You get the additional bonus of not having to use as much product. I mean, like I said, basically all precision farming is doing is discouraging you from using the chemical fertilizers, and it's discouraging you from tilling the ground unnecessarily. Those are the two main components of precision farming. Don't disturb the dirt and don't use chemical fertilizers. If you do those two things, or use them as the least amount as possible, remembering those two things, everything else kind of falls in as second nature kind of thing. So yeah, like I said, all in all, I think it's a great addition.
Now, mulching still has the exact same effect as it did base game.
Yep.
What is it, like 2%, 3%, whatever it is for mulching? You still get that. Now, the only time I mulch is with corn, because that's how we do in real life. Did you know that when you actually roll your fields in precision farming, because before it was like what, a 0.5% that you'd get? It's like a 0.5 to 1% that you get for after rolling your field. It doesn't say it in precision farming, but after I rolled the field, I did everything I was supposed to do the first time around, and I got a quality level You know how it pops up saying like 50, 52, like you can see your level.
Yep.
Mine was at an 85. I'm like, okay. So I ended up doing everything exactly the exact same over again, like I did, except when I mulched, it barely went up. It went up a little bit, but not too much. After I was done planting, I rolled the field. It went from being an 85 to a 94.
Wow.
So rolling actually matters in precision farming. And no joke.
Yeah. Yep. Well, and that's it. Is it makes those kind of more obscure things relevant.
Yeah.
And like I said, the slurry, manure, rolling, it makes them worth doing.
Yeah. So, and Giants also increase the damage that your vehicle gets for stones. So if you don't pick like the bigger stones out, or any stones in that matter. So if you get like smaller to medium sized stones, you can just roll them under and then go through and then roll again. But when you have bigger stones, your vehicle will actually take more damage than it did when it first released. So,
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
so everything becomes more irrelevant with precision farming. It's ridiculous, but it's awesome. So if you like to play realistically, like super realistically, that's the way to go. My personal opinion.
For sure. Yep. I agree.
So, I believe we're supposed to be getting mods again from Giants either this week or next week. So just keep your eyes peeled.
Beauty.
So I don't know what they are. So, so
So, real quick, Kiwi Sim Farmer, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says hello, BDD. Hello, Kiwi. We also got Chet says, hey, everyone. Hope everyone is having a great night. Having a fantastic night, Chet. Hope you're having a great one as well. And that's it.
well, I think we basically covered everything. We covered all the mods from last week. We covered the big precision farming, and we covered the new DLC announcement. So
We sure did.
I think we pretty much covered everything. So
Yeah, I think so too.
not too shabby. And I'm very thankful my PC did not decide it wanted to be a jerk. So it didn't cut me out this time. So,
Well, that's good. That's always good.
so like I said, I don't know if it's coming this week or next week, but I know we're supposed to be getting, I think, at least eight mods coming from Giants. So,
Wow.
so like I said, don't quote me on that because I know we're supposed to be getting them either this week or next week. I don't know when. So, and I don't know what we're getting. So, if I knew, I'd tell you, but I don't.
Well, here's hoping that we get some beauties this week.
I'm crossing my fingers and hoping for 4 mods. That's all I want. 4 mods from them. The first one is
Oh, really?
so number 4 is the pull behind Vermeer Baller from the Vermeer DLC.
Pull behind Vermeer Baylor. I don't remember that one. Are you talking like the round Baylor?
Yeah, from FS22 from the DLC.
Okay. Yeah.
Number 3 is the Kubota skid steer but wheeled version.
Okay.
The Vermeer Windrower, the older one that came with the DLC. And then the other one is, well, as everyone knows, the Oxbow merger. So I'm really hoping that one comes back.
I mean, that one I knew. That one I was, well aware of that you've been just chomping at the bit for.
Dude, I'm not kidding. I messaged Giants like a dozen times already saying, is this one coming back? I mean, because
And let me guess, the response is maybe.
the only response I got from every single time was, well, stay tuned. We'll see.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
come on.
That sounds like a Giants answer.
So, I do know that we are supposed to be getting that. Okay, do you remember in 22 that DLC that we got from Giants? It came with the C series that got added in with the patch. and then the older model for the international for the Farmall.
Yes, yes, I do remember. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like the cabless tractor, which I actually love the most. Giants did release that because people already have it on PC, so I know for a fact that it's coming to consoles. I don't know when though, but so
Okay.
just beware, guys, because Giants mods are usually high on megabytes. So,
Oh yeah,
so, so
big, big bites, big.
and I do want to confirm one thing that I do know, and I know for a fact that the third DLC that we're getting, Stars Aligned, is a Mercedes Benz DLC. That I can tell you right off the bat.
Okay, okay.
And I know for the expansion, we're getting Highland cows.
Ooh,
So,
very nice.
so that's all I do know. So, anyone from Giants, I'm sorry.
Let's see. We got Jonah says, "Is it Friday yet?" No, no,
Actually,
not
not
even
really.
close. And then also says, "Is that a new merch shirt you're wearing?" It is not a new merch shirt, Jonah. It is a shirt that my wife had made for me when I decided to make the channel. So this one's a BDD Gaming exclusive for BDD himself. But if you want to see it, you can see, you know, go hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, the only way. Well, guys, I think, well, I'm pretty sure we're going to be ending the stream here. Just stay tuned for next week for Agribusiness, which I'm pretty sure BD will be here
I will.
because we got a surprise for you guys.
Big surprise. Big, big, big surprise. I am so ecstatic over being able to show this one off. I think it's going to be so much fun. And it's going to bring
The channel more
it,
alive.
it, what's that?
I mean, I kind of phrase it as it would bring the channel more alive than it is right now.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna add a little something to the channel. I think, or not to the channel, but to this show. I think that it's gonna be a good one. But yeah, no. And just so everybody knows, we saw that I've been kind of pushing out a little bit of content here and there. I'm back here on Agribusiness tonight, starting tonight. Uh, Expect to see me more and more. As you can see, the room is still a mess. It's still a little messy, but we're making progress, and um, we'll hopefully be able to start dedicating more. Oh, I keep hitting the microphone. I've got to get used to its placement. I also need a little extension for my little headphone cable here because, yeah, needless to say, it's just not long enough yet. Anyways, expect more content going into the future. I do plan on continuing to, put out more and more stuff and getting more back into the channel now that we're settled into the new home. Couldn't be more ecstatic to be out here now. Yeah, we're happy, happy that the move. It's not done. We're still working on it. We're still got a pod that's going to show up here in the next, I think, week and a half. I think so. Things might get a little crazy again, but that's kind of a unload at our leisure kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we'll be good to go from there.
And all I want to say is just stay tuned to the channel because I got something going on in the background, which a friend of mine suggested I do, and which he's going to be helping me with, and so is my wife. So it's something new.
Ooh, and this is, I don't even think this is something I know about.
Nope, it is not. So
Hmm.
so
Will's keeping some information from me. I don't know if I like that.
I'll tell you after. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna end it here, but I really hope you guys really like the show. I know BD and I love hosting this. If you guys do like this show and you like the content, make sure you smash the subscribe button, hit the like button, make sure you share the video. Other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys there. Peace. I'll see you on the other side, man.
All right. Yeah, I'll see you on the other side. I'm going to catch up on the last couple of bits of chat, and then I'll sign out myself. So we got Chet says,